Hey Tim, Stu here. Just wanted to do this quick video to explain how this stuff works and all that good stuff. Basically, the site, the diagram you see in front of you is sort of a glorified linking campaign, and I shouldn't say glorified because it's a real link campaign. It's just a site that would have thousands and thousands of visitors every day. And usually, when you start off a link campaign, you want something a little more compact, say, a social networking site, maybe a Web 2.0 site, maybe some articles, working into a press release, stuff like that. So you don't want to start out too big. So we'll start out with something downscale, but this is a really good example of something that once you get scaled up, this is something that will help you get to where you're going. And just to go through this real quick with you, some of these are, of course, different types of modules. So they call these are modules, and modules are basically places that we have already called up, and they know the content's coming. They know we're sending it over, and it's like our own little network. So it's not like these links will ever be deleted or taken off at the internet because they're pretty much for good. So I just wanted you to know that. Also, another concern is being in line with Google and doing what Google wants. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you have to follow the rules, or you're going to get smacked around. And normally, if you don't follow the rules, you can smack you pretty good. So Toolbox here in the middle is an integral tool that basically randomizes IP addresses, has different proxies, things built into it that makes the posting look extremely random. So there's no possible way that, and there's no way that Google would really ever want to go after anybody for anything here, because all the IP addresses are all what are called Class C IPs, and so we've got really trusted IP addresses anyway. So it's a really kind of a really cool setup. I don't really have time to go into detail about it, but it's very cool. So you've got article directories we submit your content to, and all of these directories and places here in this diagram that we submit your content to will all be relevant to the content on your site. So you can bet that all these sites are going to contain articles and content about real estate, which is a big deal now with Panda. The content has to be relevant to your niche, and that helps a lot. And it makes a lot of sense because Google wants to improve user experience, and in doing that, they want to bring the content closer to the customer quicker, which is pretty much what Hummingbird's about. It's just a search engine enhancement. It's not really anything to be weird about or paranoid about. Hummingbird's the latest algorithm. I think it was last month, October. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to go over this with you real quick. Press release sites. Of course, we'll do one of those once in a while. We don't do those too often. These things called indexers are an interesting thing. Basically, what they are high-tech blogs, or basically high-authority blogs, excuse me. But they are high-tech too. They're on really sturdy platforms that adhere to the contours of Google Webmaster Guidelines and don't ever, make stray from what they require. So they're like perfectly managed blogs. So if the Google Webmaster were to come forward with the keychain, and check everything out, it'd be like, man, there's nothing wrong here. So that's what these are about. They're just perfect blogs, and they're very high ranking too. And there's some other stuff in there too, but most of them are blogs. And then social bookmarks here are basically the billboards of the internet. You want to be there. And these little red things, you probably noticed, these are called chains. And basically what a chain is something that takes something from something else and then throws it up on itself every single day. So what the chain is a 24-hour repeat. It's a repeater. So let's say, on the 25th of the month, some content gets thrown up on social bookmarks. And social bookmarks are basically a site that would take all the aggregate links, in aggregate that is, of Web 2.0 article directories, wiki sites, social networks, all these sites, press releases, and in aggregate would post them on the billboard. Remember when I said social bookmarks like a billboard? That's basically what it is. And they just take it, the bundle of links, and they, just put it out there. Now this indexer sits over here and picks, and it sees this. So whenever this happens, of course, it's checking every 24 hours. So if that's happening every 24, it's going to pick it up every 24. So that's kind of nice. So that's a random type of thing, because if the line is gray, that means it's whenever it's scheduled to go. So there is a rigid schedule for every module. And so every module here that you see, the squares, are all basically coordinated to operate in a way that's most efficient and most attractive to Google, so your site achieves the highest rankings possible. So anyway, if you have any more questions or something, just get a hold of me, and I'll hop on the phone with you or whatever and go over stuff. But the link to the place where the realtors could sign up, to where you could take the link, I suppose, and send it to them if you prefer that, should be in the email I sent you. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to call me before Monday. Monday's kind of a crazy day for me, but if you want, you can try me. Mondays, I'm usually in the office from before 4:30. After 4:30, I'm going to be pretty much out. But whenever you feel like hitting me up, please do. And I enjoyed talking to you. Thanks a lot. Take care.